Yo, what's happening, y'all? This is B Jizzle of the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Welcome to the number one LA Clipper podcast out there. We want to first give you guys a shout out, LA Clipper fan, LA Clipper Nations, for being here. Share this podcast with your family and friends. They will not be disappointed, but let's get it popping.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. Cause I took control of things. Ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Flossing that soldier race. Niggas don't know them days. Take you in back of the buildings. Make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks. Make you explode the face. Now you official now. But you got a soul to say. I just been cooking that new. I'm about to drop in the few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit. I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose.
For nothing. No. Wanna count on you. But I don't do this shit for nothing. No, not at all. You. But my money red, that you do. All year long. So I don't do this shit for nothing.
Rolling up some good, pulling up till we get faded. You know how we do it. Everybody take a flex on me. I got the keys to the city. I don't need no limousine. I turn up when I pull up and tell my booking agent book a show. Running around with the paper bag, running around with the paper bag. Going crazy spending all this cash. Going crazy spending all this cash. If I spend it, I'ma get it back. Even when I ride around dirty, a nigga don't need a seatbelt. A nigga don't need a seatbelt. Nah, it don't cost to keep it real. Run up, get done up. Shit can get real. Fuck around and get your ass right. Nigga, fuck around and take your shit. Got you asking God why. Drag your ass into an alley. Pull out aim for the target. Should've never been around the killers. In my town, we the fucking realest. No cheddar bars round here. I get the spray and they gon' get down. Ski mask over my face. Catch a body in broad day. Catch a body in broad day.
I got the key to the city. I got a hold of Sadiddy. Talk to that bitch in Swahili. Tattoo my name in graffiti. Whack out your hood in graffiti. Come through your hood on the weekly. None of y'all niggas can't see me. None of y'all niggas can't see me. Y'all ain't got nothing like this over there. Bunch of frontline millionaires. Bunch of self-made after Trump paid. Guess the odds really took it there. Any problem, I'ma reappear. With a squad you already fear. All this time I've been playing fair. 7 digits every single year. Niggas die, niggas disappear. Alibis, I was really there. Life a crime till I get the chair. Columbine in my trigger hair. Still I rise and I took the stairs. Feel a fire, it's a different glare. All these fights, it was never fair. Busting knuckles, still I'm swinging fears. Taste the salt inside my dripping tears. You should know I never had a fear. You should know I never had a shot, never had a chance till I took it here. Man, it's proud, but I see it clear. Strategize, I'm an engineer. Pick a side, gotta keep it there. Switching up, nigga, looking weird. I got the key to the city. I got a hold of Sadiddy. Talk to that bitch in Swahili. Tattoo my name in graffiti. Whack out your hood in graffiti. Come through your hood on the weekly. None of y'all niggas can't see me. None of y'all niggas can't see me.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos. Hit that like button. Y'all come in here. Hit the share, subscribe. Hit that Cash App. $ Slick Rick Son 1991 Son. $ Slick Rick 1991 Son for our Cash App. And Venmo is at BJ/MATHEWS/1. Venmo at BJ/MATHEWS/1. If you guys want to donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, do it at your own discretion. Last but not least, also our super stickers and super comments are available. Very simple. Hit that $ symbol in the right-hand corner. You guys can go ahead and donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast at your own discretion. Let's get it popping. All right. So this video is a pre-recorded. Like I said, man, pre-recorded live videos will be up to a high, what I'm saying, because the season is starting up. And I got a lot of different things to talk about, man. this is pretty early in the morning, Friday morning. It's like 5:45 a.m. In the morning and Friday in California. So I'm out here doing a video for y'all, man. For y'all, when y'all wake up, y'all have something watch. But um, I really could not sleep, so I decided get up here and just do this video and do this actual pre-recorded. So hope that y'all enjoy. We got some news regarding our star small forward in Kawhi Leonard. Updates about him returning for the upcoming season opener against the Phoenix Suns on the 23rd, I think, which I think is next Wednesday, or the Wednesday after. I'm sorry, the Wednesday after. If he returns back on the court. Now, there's been some news that's been surfaced around since yesterday about his return. We're going to talk about it, but I also want y'all to answer the question inside the chat box. Do y'all feel like he's going to return by season opener? Obviously, Kawhi Leonard spoke about his situation on Media Day, which was simply about a couple weeks ago. He talked about how he wanted to, return for season opener. He has not played a preseason game yet. We got a preseason game today, actually, against the Portland Trailblazers in Seattle, which he will not be participating in. But Kawhi Leonard spoke about his situation, with his health, his knee, all on Media Day. Some of the things that he echoed was he wants to play. He's eager to get out there and play. But on the same token, they have to be cautious. They have to be very, very strategical, when having him return back on the court, just off the fact that he just got injured last year in the postseason, where he was not able to even really play, and they had to force to sit him out. So the Clippers are taking the approach the same way Kawhi said. They're taking things very, very slow. He had a interview last Saturday regarding the Golden State Warriors, and they talked about if he was going to be healthy for the postseason, and he said basically in a nutshell that they're taking things very slow, and just off of Kawhi's movements and how his instincts were in that interview, he was saying to himself, well, I'm not really focused too much of playing 82 games. I just want to win a championship. So in that case, like I've said before, they're going to take the load back to him going back to load management. Last year was all about taking the regular season seriously. He played 68 games last year. He was healthy for the majority of the year. But this year, after that, aftermath, they decided to, take the approach of him going back to load management. Same way they did in Toronto, where he finished the season the same way they did it with the Clippers. He finished the entire season the year they had the bubble. So this is what I work for. I strive for a championship. I'm not out there trying to play 82 games, even though that's obligated. I try to, but it hasn't worked out. So they are trying a different thing. So expect Kawhi Leonard to have a lot of load management this year, whether that be back-to-backs, whether that be against, teams that are not very competitive, whether that be on the road, or just our precaution in general. They're going to take the approach to be very, very precaution this upcoming year when it comes to Kawhi Leonard. But again, this is what surfaced around, reported by Joey Lynn. He said Kawhi Leonard still hasn't practiced with the Los Angeles Clippers and is questionable for the opener. All right. Via Joey Lynn, Sports Illustrated. Joey Lynn is a LA Clippers beat writer who is with Sports Illustrated. Shout out to Joey Lynn. But we're gonna go ahead and hear some soundbite. Hear a soundbite from our coach Ty Lue speaking about it on practice, and we're gonna kind of read a little bit, not too much about some of the things that he has echoed. So I'm gonna let y'all hear what Coach Ty Lue had to say. It's very, very brief. I think it's like probably not even 20 seconds. But I want y'all to kind of hear what Coach Ty Lue had to say about Kawhi Leonard returning on the court. This upcoming season opener. So here's the reporter asking the question, and you guys shall hear it right now.
Better every night. So they're coming along, but they got to come along a little faster.
What's the latest update on Kawhi Leonard?
He's getting treatment. He's going through the process. Rehab is right here.
Derek is still don't think
Huh?
he's coming up in the practice.
Kawhi? No.
Derek, okay, can turn around there.
So that was like I said, only 20 seconds really. I'm gonna let y'all hear it one more time. There were people that just came in. I'm gonna let y'all hear. This is Coach Ty Lue speaking about Kawhi Leonard, if he's going to be how he's doing. Very, very brief. And I think Law asked the question. So I'm gonna let Ty Lue answer the question one more time. So here we go.
better every night. So they're coming along, but they got to come along a little faster.
What's your latest update on Kawhi Leonard?
He's getting treatment. He's going through the process. Rehab is right here.
Derek is so still don't think he practice.
Huh?
He's coming up in the practice.
Kawhi? No.
All right. So that's the second time y'all heard it. I'm gonna let y'all read what actually was said because I know it's a little bit, a little difficult to hear because of the ball bouncing in the background. But we're gonna take a chance, to read what actually is what Ty Lue actually said. So this part of this article it says no word yet on a solid timeline for Kawhi's return. Pressed for concrete timeline regarding Leonard's return to the court, Lue was non-committable, saying it all depends on how Kawhi's knee reacts to the drills he's been doing so far. All right, let's continue. He says right here, Los Angeles Clippers superstar Kawhi Leonard has heard all the talk about being injury prone, but his head coach Ty Lue is determined to keep him healthy as the team prepares for the upcoming NBA season. Ty Lue emphasizes that the LA Clippers must ensure Kawhi Leonard avoids injury as he strives to return to the court. The biggest thing for us, this is Coach Ty Lue speaking, the biggest thing for us is making sure we do right by Kawhi, not letting him hurt himself by trying to get him back early. We can't skip steps, Lue said. He said, when he's healthy, I don't think we have a crystal ball to say when he'll be back, but the biggest thing is to make sure he's 100% healthy before we get him back on the floor, said Lue. Now, of course, that's more than what he said in that little 20-second skit, but in the most part, he has not practiced yet. Like, Joey Liz said right here, he has not practiced yet, and there's no question, there's no timeline for his return. He's questionable for his season opener. And I'm gonna give my thoughts about it as well. And I want to hear y'all thoughts of what y'all think about this. Obviously, like I said, we're about a week and a half away from the season opener against the Phoenix Suns. And a lot of stuff has happened since now, from media day to now. Right. We've heard a lot of different things, a lot of different angles. So we're gonna kind of, highlight everything. And things that have stood out for me about Kawhi Leonard over the last, couple weeks or so. All right. First off, Kawhi Leonard recently basically spoke about his injury or his history with his knee. And media day, as I tell y'all before, is just a day where people are kind of, able to see their face. It's like the first day of school, right? Everybody's, smiling. Everybody's, their best clothes, their best behavior, their best yada, yada, yada. That's what media day is meant to be, right? So when you hear a lot of stuff, when people talk about, this person said this person said that on media day, you guys got to make sure y'all take everything with a grain of salt. And what I mean by a grain of salt, I mean like, hear it, but don't digest it until you actually see the manifestation of their words. Kawhi's words in media day was that he wants to play. He said season opener. Hopefully he gets a chance to be out there. That he's, serious about, the season. He wants to win a championship, this, that, and the other. And unfortunately, we ain't been able to see it because he's been, out for the last 4 seasons. And that's just pretty much the bottom line, the truth of it. Ever since the last injury he just had, not being able to finish against the Dallas Mavericks, I think a lot of people, about over 80% of people, have finally said to themselves, okay, you know what? This is a lot for us to handle. Let's go ahead and just blow this up, right? I mean, really, if you think about it, people have been trying to blow this up over the last couple of seasons. Ever since, really, the year after Kawhi was, out for the whole season, where he tore his ACL, he didn't come back that next year. You had people echoing, let's blow it up. And then when he gets hurt against the Phoenix Suns in 2023, they say, okay, let's blow it up. Now 2024 comes, you don't have Paul George, you lose Russell Westbrook, and then you got Kawhi Leonard out for another postseason. They're definitely saying blow it up. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it one more time, or I'm going to say it again. If this man cannot be on the court in the playoffs this time, I'm okay with blowing it up. I want to make that very, very clear to everybody here. Why is that? Because at the end of the day, when I look at the Clippers team right now, they all rise on Kawhi Leonard. And based on how deep the West is and how, I wouldn't even say deep, but how competitive and young it's going to be, there's a lot of teams in the West that's going to be, what I'm saying, hungry. You got the OKC Thunder, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Denver Nuggets. Even though I think they're going to drop, they're going to still be a team that's going to be hungry after tasting defeat last year. You got the New Orleans Pelicans. They picked up some players. You got the Dallas Mavericks. You got to respect what they did, even though I don't think they're an all-world beating team. They just came off a finals appearance. You got the teams like the Rockets, who are going to be having something to say as well. You got teams like the Sacramento Kings. They just picked up DeMar DeRozan. They're going to be a very fun athletic team. Then you got some of the seasoned teams like the Warriors and the Lakers, who I don't think they're going to be as competitive if we're healthy, but they have pride as far as Steph and LeBron, where they've been dominant for almost a decade, getting to the playoffs and what I'm saying, being the faces of this past decade. They're going to try to at least make it interesting. So like I said, it's a lot to ride on Kawhi every single year, and not knowing if he's going to be on the court. And even if he is on the court, does he trust that this team is going to be good enough for him to be able to compete? And that brings me to this right here, when he said nobody stood out to me so far on his new teammates. Understand the media day what I just sent, which is the first part of the process this year, was the media day. The second part was training camp, was in Hawaii for I think 2 or 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it not 3? It was about 3-4 days, and then they played their first game against Golden State. And in that whole week of training camp, he said that nobody stood out to him in training camp. And he said it very, very bluntly. He didn't say it in a way where he was pulling back punches or holding back words. He said, nobody has stood out to me so far. We've never heard Kawhi Leonard speak like that in the past. And some people may say that's, taking a shot at his teammates. I don't think it's taking a shot at his teammates. I just think he's just being honest. I think Kawhi Leonard's at the point now where I've been waiting for him to be at over the last 3 seasons, which is to tell all to the people so there's no misconception. And usually when you deal with a person who tells all, it's because they're at a point where there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that he wants to, expose. Shout out to old man for saying that it's time for Kawhi to speak up. He's doing that. He did it really last year, if you think about it, with the load management idea. Right? Remember last media day last year in 2024 or 2023, where they tried to, make Kawhi out to be load management, and he was basically a guy just sitting out of games. He spoke as expressive as I ever seen him speak, and he said, "No, if I can play, I'm going to play. Period. I'm not sitting out games on purpose." And he made it very clear that's not what I do. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is really getting to him, because even right here, if y'all don't, if y'all didn't see the beginning of part, he said Los Angeles Clippers superstar Kawhi Leonard has heard all the talk about him being injury prone. Right? A lot of y'all say that Kawhi Leonard doesn't really respond to the media and all this, that. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Kawhi Leonard knows what's going on. He hears the people that says that he's injury prone. He hears the people that say that he doesn't want to play. He hears the stuff where people say that he's not the same. He hears everything, man. Even if he don't open it up and read it, somebody's telling him about it. Family member, he has a team. They're giving him it's like he's human at the end of the day. So when he came on that podium last year and spoke about how, I'm not sitting out of games, he spoke from the heart, like he's speaking from the heart right now. And why is it so important that he said this? Is because as much as Ty Lue wants to say that it's us, the medical staff, who's choosing to hold him out, and it's us trying to protect him from himself, I do think Kawhi Leonard's also looking at this and saying to himself, okay, before I'm not going to rush myself back to a situation where I don't know how great the team is going to look. Right? If he had a lot of trust in this team, first of all, he said nobody stood out to him so far. But if he really had trust and belief in this team right now, that they were going to be a dominant force, then he wouldn't be saying nobody stood out to me so far, or nobody's this, that, and the other. And as I said before, this team is not going. I said it before. This team is not as good as last year's team. I don't know where this is coming from. That the team that we got, the players that we have this year are better than last year. And it's not disrespect to them, but you guys are talking about Hall of Famers who were on the squad last year. You're talking about a team that went 25-5, which is the best record the Clippers run they've ever made in a short span. You're talking about a team that's went 30-8 before the All-Star break. If you tell me this team can do that and go 7-4 without Kawhi Leonard the entire season, then you got me. But I don't think this team can do that. Even this watching these past first two games, we can see like the offense is very, very stagnant when they have James Harden on the court. They're very young. They're unproven players. Yes, they're younger, but there's a level of a level they have to get to even be in those type of talks. And that's why Kawhi said what he said. Nobody stood out to him so far. He's being very honest. Because at the end of the day, they're basically role players looking to find themselves on the team. The Chris Dunns, the Kevin Porter Jr.'s, the Mo Bambas, the Kai Joneses, the Nicholas Batums. These guys are role players for the most part. KPJ could be a star. But the other guys, they're in the NBA based off of what they're able to do on the road. Whether if they're meant to play defense, they're meant to, hit open shots. They're meant to, be 3-and-D versatile guys. That's what they're meant to be. So when you bring that to a team that previously Kawhi seen was more, able to do more things and it being more dominant, turn that switch on and off, then of course it's something that you will say. And his tone has changed, saying that I'm not out there trying to play 82 games. That changed. That was a lot different from last year. Last year he was saying that, if I can play, I'm going to play. I play both sides of the floor. You saw a Kawhi Leonard who was eager to get on the court last year. Now he's saying I'm going back to load management. This is what this basically means. I work to strive for a championship, not to play 82 games, even though it's obligated. So his mindset is like, my playground is in the playoffs. That's my playground. But it's also his mindset is like, I'm going to sit back and see how this unveils, because I got to know if this team is really serious about winning, which brings me to management, which brings me to coaching, which brings me to the higher ups, where I think Kawhi Leonard is a little bit questioning as well. Medical staff. All right, let's revert back to history. Kawhi Leonard, 5 seasons with the Clippers, 2020 to now 2020-24. So when y'all look at the top right here, the 2019-20 to 2023-2024, look at the 4 columns or the 4 rows right here. Played 57 games in the bubble year, which is pretty much about 80% of the season, because remember that was a shortened year because of the COVID. So he played a majority of that year, but he still had low management in mind, meaning he didn't play back-to-backs. And they had like a month-to-month hiatus where they got a chance to really rest. So that also assisted Kawhi getting through that year as well. The next year, he didn't load manage as much. He played 52 games, and that's the year that he got hurt. He played 52 games and started 50 after the year he missed, which was the year that he was probably the most precaution after coming off that torn ACL. He played only 52 games out of 82, and he started only 50 of those games. He missed a lot of back-to-backs. There was about a month where he missed time and was now on the court. And then 68 games, and he started 68 games last year. So a lot of time missed from Kawhi Leonard, only completing, I think, 4 of the last 15 playoff games, if I'm not mistaken. 4 out of the last 15 playoff games he has played in, which is way under, 50%. And like I said, like he's at a position now where he's, trying to, dictate and actually, figure out how to, really make this this injury bug go away. And that's why I bring up the medical staff like I do. The medical staff is in charge of Kawhi Leonard as far as, how they use him, as far as how they, how many games he plays and things of that nature. They are part of the whole dynamic. They determine when he gets the chance to play. They have to clear him. and they have to, make sure that he takes all the precautionary steps. He's going through all these, strengthening of his knee. That's through the medical staff. He's not practicing. That's the medical staff, right? He's not on the court with his team, and in preseason game, that's the medical staff primarily. Now, of course, there's other factors I'm gonna get into in a minute, but primarily the medical staff is in charge of the players as far as when they play and when they sit out. When it comes to a situation like this, why is that? Because Kawhi Leonard is a investment the Clippers chose to make last year on that 3 year, $152 million extension. We know in the past, and when I talk about the past, I'm talking about the Spurs, that Kawhi Leonard has had his doubts when it comes to team doctors, so much to the point where he has his own personal doctor, I think, out of New York, where he went and got a second opinion from a injury that the Spurs said originally that he had nothing wrong with. So you could say, and it's safe to say, that Kawhi is very sensitive when it comes to certain things like his health, and it comes to certain things like his knee. And when you, quote unquote, mislead him, or you don't know how to precautionally, care for him and do your job, you can lose a player of his caliber very, very quickly. Ask the Spurs, ask San Antonio, ask Greg Popovich, ask that organization if what I'm not saying is honest. Kawhi basically left San Antonio because of that specific situation. I primarily remember an interview. I think it was a media day interview, if I'm not mistaken. Right, there was an interview for media day in 2022. Him coming off his ACL tear, where he spoke about how he wasn't going to another team unless something happens or something drastic happens. And at that time, he was like, "Yeah, Kawhi's gonna retire a Clipper," but just like he said, if something drastic happens, things can happen drastically very, very quickly and very fast. So when you look at a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who basically had a situation now with the Clippers, how they lost Paul George essentially for nothing. They lost Russell Westbrook. You lost a lot of pieces, you know what I'm saying? Since then, pieces that he had that, helped him, get to the conference finals, even though he did not play. Things have changed. It's a totally different team now. And that's why I think Kawhi Leonard understands. So that's why I made that video the other day. I said, has he lost confidence in the Clippers? Because the way he's speaking right now, and he's talking about his, saying that he's, he doesn't see nobody standing out as far as his teammates. He said that, he's said little slick things like, I was responsible for, like, top 5 in miles the last year. And it's like certain things that he'll say that you got to kind of pick up on. And I just think at this point, Kawhi's at the time, he's like, he's not going to hold back. He's being honest about it. Before, that whole secretive, I'm going to be quiet and keep a, closed lip, I think that's starting to weigh down. I think Kawhi's saying to himself, hey, they're already kind of, telling me that, I'm faking it, or I'm not trying to play. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to go out my way and say it, but if they ask me a question, I'm going to tell them. I'm gonna say what it is, because that deep down, that's who Kawhi Leonard is. He's very transparent. He's very, very honest, very blunt, very simple. That's who he is at the end of the day. Now, my opinion on all this stuff is is to the point as well. Do I think he is going to play for the season opener? Before, I didn't think he was going to play season opener, off the fact that I just know the history with the Clippers, dealing with Kawhi Leonard playing for certain games. I did not feel like, I was not confident in Lawrence Frank, and I was not confident that he was going to, allow him to play on the court. And after reading this and after, hearing Ty Lue speak about it, I'm even more confident he's not going to be available for season opener. Because of the reason I just explained, he's not going to rush himself back on the court for something that he don't feel like is going to be beneficial. I mean, when you don't practice, bro, you got to understand, we're only a week and a half away from, from the first game. And you telling me he hasn't even practiced, he's still just doing strengthening exercises. There's no real reason for him to get on the court right now. He's not in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to have him in for the first game in the Dome, the first official game as far as, season-wise. But it's like he said right here, he's not trying to play 82 games. He's trying to win a championship. So if October 23rd is not a playoff game, Kawhi Leonard's not really concerned about, according to what he said. It's kind of like when y'all have that job where that's been overworking your ass for like, I don't know, for like years. And then you finally get some downtime and you say, man, I ain't finna, be out there. I'm going to take this day off, man. I'm tired. Or I've been overworked. I deserve this day off. Same thing. It's human, being a human. I don't think he's there's no level of urgency for him to get out there. Because like I said, I think he is, and this is my opinion, I think he has either lost a little confidence in the Clippers, what they're doing, how they're managing his injury, the team they're building around him. And this is another thing I've said before. Not just Kawhi Leonard, but Paul George. There was a reason why he kept telling himself on the podcast he wants to play the right way. Who do you think he was talking about? He was talking about how Ty Lue ran his offense, who he ran his offense through, which is James Harden, which is going to be the guy that this team is going to run their offense through, is James Harden. Y'all saw that the first two preseason. You saw it against the Nets the other night. There was no offense unless James Harden was initiating it. And by the point that he can't get by defenders the way as quickly as he used to, the main thing that James Harden can do is that pick and roll. He can catch shooters in the three-point line. He can do that step back three. He can get by defenders at times. But the 35 going on 36-year-old Hall of Famer can no longer do the things he was doing from ages like 25 to about 31, which is by getting by people at will. And that's the guy you put the offense in. You've built defense around Kawhi, but according to him, all it looks like you did was try to make up for losing a real star in Paul George, which is his running mate. Now, see, and if y'all heard interviews from Kawhi, even around the Olympic time, him and Paul George are still cool. They're still very close. So they were communicating throughout the entire offseason last year and during the season this year about what was going on. That tells me, again, I made a video about this too. I said, did Kawhi Leonard save Paul George from coming back? Is there a bigger plan in design? I'm not saying Kawhi is doing this on purpose. What I am saying is he's lost some investment into this team. And based off of him saying he hasn't even practiced yet, yada, 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 he's probably telling the medical staff, like, okay, I want to really take my time with this knee. Again, he had no issue going out there for us, the Olympics. He rushed his ass to get back into that because he felt like it was worth doing that, because this is a once in a lifetime. He wants a gold medal. He wanted to play, full-fledged wanted to play. But then Lawrence Frank comes back months later and says that the swelling's all the way gone. How? So you're telling me the swelling was still there? One or two things is happening, and they're both bad. either the swelling was still on his knee, and you guys allowed that shit to happen in the summertime, and you went out and said that you guys wanted him to play, which means that you guys did not care about Kawhi Leonard's health. That's one that has to be, because you put it out there. You said he was ready to play. You all wanted him to play. He looked very good in practice. That's one instance that it could be, or he is not really hurt as much as they're trying to put it out there, and he just wants to sit and see how this team is going to be. It's one or the other. It's either he's actually dealing with this, really having to take this time to really strengthen his knee and, basically try to wait, and he's really, having to come back slowly, if that's one. Or two is that he's just basically saying to himself, I'm going to make a reason why not to play. Because he said it, not me. He said he is not trying to play 82 games. He's ready. He wants to be in the postseason. He said that he's tried to do it, but it hasn't worked, so they're trying something different. I'm telling you, Kawhi is. I have to applaud Kawhi for finally speaking his mind and not holding back when it comes to this media, because the thing the media can do, yes, if you say something, they can twist it, but Kawhi Leonard is the type of person that people want to hear from him. So if he says something, people are going to listen. I see bluntly, I see honesty. So I don't think that he's going to be available for the opener. If he happens to be available for the opener, I think he's going to sit right back out after. Because if I'm not mistaken, they did that I think they did this last year in 2022, 2023. I think they did it. They basically sat him out. They let him play the first game against the Lakers, and they sat him out right after, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I think happened 2 years ago. So if they bring him back against the Suns, they're probably just doing that just based off of ticket sales, which, again, this is a business. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep their hopes up to the Clippers and, to the Clipper fan base that still come to the games. That's why they're listing it as questionable. But anytime I hear the word questionable when it comes to Kawhi, it's usually not likely. They do the same verbiage in the postseason and the playoffs. They say stuff like, well, he's day to day, or they say stuff like he's questionable to play. So people, will come to the games. And I don't blame them, because, like I said, you lost two of your stars. See, this is, again, goes back to, I'm going to keep going back to it overall. I really don't care who gets mad. When you lose two caliber players who are from LA like that, these are certain the things that you have to do, because you got to fill up them seats. James Harden by himself ain't going to be enough to fill up the Intuit Dome. I can tell you that right now. It's not. But I think people are starting to learn to play like you're not. I think certain people are going to start, catching on. Like, I'm not going to put myself out there yet. Why is that? Because I've already been, disappointed in the past. There's been times even last year or the year before that when Clipper fans would buy tickets and they'll find out the day of the game that Kawhi wasn't playing, or hours before the game they already bought the damn tickets. See, that's where I draw the line and be like, okay, that's just scummish. It's almost like you go on a date, you have a girl that you're going to go on a date with, and she counsels you at the last minute, oh, I got sick or something happened, right? That's kind of what you're looking at when Kawhi Leonard, they say questionable, day to day, or and it gets to about 3 hours before the game, it's like, oh, he's not playing. Like, what the hell? So again, interesting, take from Joy Lynn. Like I said, I do not know if he's going to be. I'm going to take it as he's not going to be available, but we'll see. We'll see. And y'all let me know in the comment section. Do y'all feel like he's going to be available? Do you think he's going to play? But I just think again that he's lost some trust and confidence in this team and how they've been running things. So now that we are here, like it's going to look a little. It's like him just basically taking his time. And they better be careful, because if he don't, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say, there's been some echoes that there's been some teams that's going to be interested in Kawhi next year. And I'm not wishing this on the Clippers at all, but I just got to be honest and be real. Like, there are some teams that are eyeing Kawhi Leonard even next year. I know people are saying, like, who's going to trade for, man, there are teams that would trade for Kawhi Leonard right now. Why is that? Because the same way the Clippers have been keeping him. And people ask, well, why they give him a 3-year, $152 million deal? Because they're riding on hope. Because it's just, and that's how great Kawhi is individually as a player. They're riding on hope. A lot of teams will say to themselves, we can keep him healthy. We can do this for him. We can do something to the Clippers in. Like, maybe they feel like they can keep him, he didn't know how to actually load manage him correctly. Golden State has been a team. Miami has been a team that's been interested. I heard even Orlando was a team that's interested. There's teams out there, they feel like they can, make it work. One more analogy. It's like a girl who I may not even try to use it, but I got to be honest. A girl who has told you that she hasn't had a good relationship, and then you feel like you can, be that one guy to change her mind. That's why I see when it comes to Kawhi. There's that team out there who feels like they can change the situation. They can make him healthy. And once they do that, they have a top-notch player like Toronto did. So it's like I said, man, don't be surprised if Kawhi says, you know what, man, I'm going to go ahead and just chill and sit out. And he might go out there and demand a trade. I'm being completely honest, because what I'm hearing from him now is not what I was hearing from him these last 3-4 years, man. And just the fact that he hasn't even practiced the floor just showed me, like he said, he's not urgent to get back on the court. Does that mean he'll never get back on? No, I still think he wants to play, but he's going to do it on his terms. One thing about him, Kawhi, he's always going to put himself first. He's not going to kill himself, even if it means for the team. Last year, he tried to get out there and play, and it was only because he had confidence in that team. This team, he would not. There's no way, man, hell no. He would not do that for this team. But I'm going to let y'all go. Until next time, respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up a lot. Peace. Out of here like swim wow.
I've been all around the world, Japan to Amsterdam. Meals nutritious, lifestyle was vicious, yeah. While these out here tried to hate mine, yet I still stood tall on the main line. Two-step, throwing up that gang sign. Rolling around the city, big chain, but he ain't signed. Y'all fake tough, little puffs to my canines. Don't forget cracking at them hit boy parties. Probably had your girl naked at them hit boy parties. Big chains, big flexing at them hit boy parties. Nobody trip, cause they knew I had that big boy on me. Yeah, gang of fast living, addicted to cash get. Disrespected to getting the ass whipped. Don't call yourself a baller unless your whole clan get. Plan you got you ain't working, then you need to plan different.
This on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything.
Yeah, no need for blocks out, baby. baby got her box out. Just dropped a man, now she looking for that knockout. He did her wrong, then he tried to shame, baby. She was trying to bounce back, so I don't blame, baby. Cause it kick her up, one time fuck her up. A true big homie, I don't hear his name enough. Went through the real movie while y'all snowed on the bluff. Gotta give it up, big homie did his stuff. Now it's all about the bag play. Been around more smoke than an ashtray. Right cheek, left cheek, let her ass shake. On God, I'm 100 to my last day. West side, east side, yeah, I'm both for that. No talking, take off, bro, I'm known for that. 50 M's on the scales, yeah, I'm close to that. Yeah, you on the same mission, yeah, I'm hoping that. Make the money overlap.
West side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Hey, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything.
Throw it up.
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 Throw it up. Yeah, that's it all. Hey, homies. Yeah. 323s. 213s. 310s. 424s. Hey, 818s. Yeah. What we missing? 5, 6 toes, I see. Hey, yeah. Give it up. Hey, give it up. Hey, give it up. Battle Cat. Holla. That nigga Dom Kennedy. Yeah. Gotta love that. Yeah. Corrupt. We love you too.